sigils, anything that gives her power, candles, an altar. And most witches that are practicing, whether they're pagans or Wiccans or, just on their own, a witch will have some kind of altar. And I want to clear this up, that an altar with a pentagram does not mean that they are practicing black magic. All a pentagram is the seasons and the elements together. It just is a way to create a circle where you can harness the power of the earth, hopefully in good ways. Now, tonight we are going to be talking about the truths and the fictions of the tarot. So, what I was trying to explain before, divination method, scrying, watching blank patterns of birds are older than record history. So others, such as runes and palm reading, can be traced back to at least ancient times. Tarot, by comparison, is a relatively new system of divination. It began to emerge in the earnest in late 18th century Europe and was more substantially developed in the 19th and early 20th century. But the roots of tarot, in terms of the structure and imagery of the deck, as well as the esoteric wisdom contained within, go back much, much further. So many misconceptions and really many scholarly debates about the history of the tarot around today, and the full tale of its origins is beyond the scope of this guide, of any guide, because it is kind of a collaboration of different divinations, kind of put together in more of the psychic, intuitive, and meditative qualities. You don't have to be a psychic to read tarot. You just have to have the energy focused, the correct energy focused. You can't do it while you're drinking, doing drugs. I've had a bad day, like a really bad day. I mean, you can manifest your own negativity just by, doing it on a bad day. So this is, I guess, the biggest thing is that the tarot has been used for a long time. It just wasn't in the form of cards, reading people's palms, reading the air, reading smoke, reading the ruins, things like that. That's all part of tarot. So, during the 18th century, several French scholars and aristocrats began to take an interest in esoteric or occult subjects like divination, magic, and the alchemy, like others in Europe had done over the course of many centuries. They were rediscovering and building an older philosophical and mystical tradition, including the Jewish Kabbalah, Pythagorean theory, philosophy, and Hermetic teachings. These and other elements of ancient and medieval spiritual exploration are collectively known as Western esotericism, or the Western mystery of tradition, which still very much is alive today. want to manifest for yourself or somebody else in a positive way. So all through the centuries, and I really don't like the word occult or occultist. It's very, I think, derogatory. It's strange, but they use it as, kind of an innocuous way of describing a witch or following the path of paganism, Wicca, or just the ways of nature. So there are many myths and misconceptions. And what are they? First, they believed that the tarot had originated in ancient Egypt. This was partly to erroneous connections made between imagery on some of the cards and certain Egyptian artifacts, and particularly to fabricated evidence being circulated among occult enthusiasts. So it was also fashionable at that time to be able to connect everything having to do with esoteric knowledge back to ancient Egypt, because it is so interesting and so mysterious, and they were very powerful in their own magic. So the notion that the tarot was Egyptian was readily received. A related belief was that the tarot was brought to Europe by people known to Europeans as gypsies. Gypsies originated in India and began arriving in Europe during the Middle Ages. Well, about that, but these nomadic people, more correctly identified as Roma, were also mistakenly believed to hail from Egypt, hence the name gypsies, which I did not know. I did not know that gypsies came from the name Egypt. Which obviously, despite, didn't help dispel the Egyptian origin. The Egyptian origin theories. Later scholars, having more information about history and geography than these innovators of tarot did, ultimately dismiss these ideas. Today, many people argue that the tarot had nothing to do with Egypt or gypsies. So it's just an invention of the 18th century occultists who merely transcribed their existing esoteric knowledge onto what had been a mundane pack of playing cards. Yet this isn't accurate. It is not accurate assessment either. Actually, turns out that while none of these origin theories is accurate, there is some truth to be found in each one. For example, it's true that the tarot deck, as we know it today, was modeled on playing cards used by the nobles of medieval society. These were had 4 numbered suits, each of which had its own symbol. The suits were typically known as batons, cups, swords, and coins. So each suit contained an ace, a card for every number between also known as the Tarot of Marseille, also spelled Marseillese, and the version of it is most familiar to modern readers was first produced in 1748. This was a deck that French occultist Antoine Court de Guesclin and Italia used as they explored the esoteric potential of the cards. So it is now based on secrets and mysteries. But it really helped popularize the tarot. The Waite Smith deck is what I use. I don't know why, I find it to be the most simple to read and down, like just basic stuff. So the evolution continues. And today, the modern deck, as we have seen, the standardization of tarot decks that occur in the 18th century, Marseille ultimately gave rise to the structure of the tarot as we know today. A 78 card deck comprised of 22 major arcana and 56 minor arcana cards. The minor arcana is further divided into 4 suits which retain the original structure of the 4 suited card decks of the medieval Italy and Ace 9 by pip cards, numbered 2 through 10 and 4 count cards. The cards of the major arcana, or great secrets, generally reflect aspects of the inner self, the emotional or spiritual growth that we encounter along the journey of our life, and significant events and turning points on one's individual path. By contrast, the cards in the minor arcana, or lesser secrets, typically represent the more mundane elements of everyday life, through which we discover, experience, and apply lessons represented by the major arcana. The meaning associated with each card can be derived from one or more of many elements. The name of the card, especially within the major, the number on the card, especially within the minor, and the card's illustration and other details, like if it's upside down, if it's right side up. That's very important. So, next time I will go into what each one means. But I just wanted to give an overview of where the tarot came from. So, it's interesting. Get a little. For next week, I'll have I'm still in the woods, and it's hard for me to set up anything, especially with my dogs in there, my daughter, and the wind. And today I had a hailstorm. It was quite comical, actually. So, what do we learn from these cards? Well, I'll tell you what I have learned personally from these cards. I have done them 3 times in my life, and I feel the weird thing is I feel the need to do them when I need to do them. And it's weird because the 2 times I did them in the last, let's see, 15, 20 years, I did it a long time ago, and then I did it twice in a row. And the first time, they were all the exact same cards, except